A very warm welcome to Bhutan This Week with me, Tandin Finso. Our top stories this week: His Holiness the Jkhempo consecrated the Kagin Hakang in Gasa Tashithom Zong. Her Majesty the Royal Grandmother Ajike Zangchon in Wangchuk inaugurated the Shenchen Dharma Society. And the search on the recent boat mishap in Jamgang has been suspended after days of search proved futile. His Holiness the Jkhempo consecrated the Kagin Hakang in Gasa Tashithom Zong. The Hakang was renovated after the fire in 2008.
His Holiness the Jkhempo consecrated the Kagin Hakang yesterday. The Hakang was repaired extensively after the fire in 2008.
Gasa Zong is one of the oldest zongs in Bhutan. When the zong caught fire, we were really worried. Today we are happy that His Holiness consecrated the zong.
The people of Gasa said they are now happy to see their Hakang restored. They said there was no proper place to perform daily rituals and to host major religious events after the Hakang was razed by fire. With the Hakang restored, people said they can now perform rituals.
After 2008 fire, we were having tough time accommodating monks to perform daily rituals. With the help of the government, we now have better place and can accommodate all the monks in the Rabde.
Villagers said due to the remoteness and without access to road network to the Zongkak, the renovation took a few years to complete.
We faced a lot of problems in the past years as the roads were not accessible. We also faced labor problem. Due to cold weather, laborers were not keen to come and work in Gasa.
The Hakang was constructed with a total cost of around 16 million Yultrum through the RGOB fund. Meanwhile, after the consecration, His Holiness also administered Tsewang or blessings for long life to the people. Compiled for Kinzang Chunle, Kinzang Yishi, PBS News.
Her Majesty the Royal Grandmother Ajike Zangchon in Wangchuk inaugurated the Shenchen Dharma Society. The Tsopa was jointly inaugurated by Her Majesty the Royal Grandmother and His Eminence Dilgo Khyentse Yangtse Rinpoche. The Shenchen Dharma Society is a tribute to His Eminence the late Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche. The chairman of the society said they will conduct religious activities in and around the country and organize public talks. The society has members who were students and devotees of His Eminence the late Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche. At the launch, His Eminence the Dilgo Khyentse Yangtse Rinpoche gave 500,000 Nultrum for the reconstruction of Wongdifo Drang Zong. The money was received by the Tsula Löbe Rinpoche of the Shungdrasang. Eminent Rinpoches and members of the royal family were present at the launch. The search on the recent boat mishap in Jamgang was suspended after 5 days of search effort proved futile, but the locals have been requested to inform the concerned officials if they come across anything that would help the search efforts. 7 people are confirmed dead after a boat capsized in Mangdechu last Saturday after the rope tied to the boat snapped, causing the boat to topple. The rope was tied to the boat up to the bank for safety. There were 18 people on board, including the boatman, who were travelling towards Rindibi to collect cement for the school construction. BBS ran a news on the boat service in Pantang sometime in 2012. In that report, our reporter Sujaman Thapa talked to the boat operator and also the people who used the boat service. He says while the people were thankful for the boat service for it made travelling easy, it raised safety concerns.
This footage is from our news report on the boat service in Pantang that was aired sometime in 2012. This is the very boat that capsized yesterday carrying 18 people. And it was being operated by the same operator, Rinchen Doji. Speaking to our reporter Surjaman Thapa, Rinchen Doji had then said on some days he finds himself ferrying close to 200 people. Our reporter Surjaman Thapa had also talked to the passengers. The people he talked to back in 2012 were mostly people of Panthang village in Phangkhar Gyeok. They told they do worry about the safety. Yesterday, their fears came true when the boat capsized around 1:30 in the afternoon. It is not clear what caused the boat to capsize.
Restoration works for the destruction caused by a windstorm on Sunday evening in Samtsi are in full swing. As per the Rapid Disaster Assessment Report compiled by the Samtsi Dzongkhag administration, a total of 96 households were damaged by the windstorm. Out of it, roofs of 27 households were completely blown away, while the rest were partially damaged.
Life in Samtsi is slowly returning to normal. However, the evening of 11th May 2014 will be one fateful Sunday for the residents of the town. A windstorm blew away roofs of many houses, uprooted trees, disrupted electricity supply and damaged crops. It lasted for half an hour.
I have been living in Samtsi since 1960s, but never ever saw this kind of storm. In town, it blew away the roofs of many houses and uprooted trees. It was a panicking situation for us.
There used to be windstorm out here, but not as devastating as the one on Sunday. This storm has uprooted trees, blew away roofs. Even the huge trees in town area were uprooted. People were seen running around in panic, not knowing what to do.
The roof of Samtsi Hospital's ward and outpatient department that was blown away is being replaced. About 60 army personnel have been mobilized for the work. Meanwhile, the patients in the wards have been shifted to the tuberculosis ward and kept isolated from TB patients.
To our work plan, we are aiming to complete this solution, particularly the hospital, within a week or so. But nevertheless, it is dependent on the monsoon, mainly because this is monsoon and we can never predict the climate. If there is rain, then there might be 1 or 2 days late. Otherwise, if there is no rain, we are expecting to finish before 1 week or so.
Work to re-roof the Lamnitins residence, monks' hostel and toilets began this afternoon. The debris left by the storm on the roads has also been cleared. 3 out of 15 gyeoks in Samtsi were affected by the windstorm.
For those affected by the storm, we have constructed them temporary shelters. As a support to the Bhutan Power Corporation, we have mobilized a person from each household to help them restore the power lines and poles destroyed by the storm.
Compiled for Sonam Wangdi in Samtsi, Tenzin Rapki, BBS News.
The devastating Wangdi Phodrang Dzong fire was a wake-up call for Bhutan to build disaster preparedness in the Dzongs. Following the tragic incident, the Department of Disaster Management has been carrying out trainings on how to prevent or save Dzongs from fire disasters.
Monks of Srang Drasang learned to use fire extinguisher at a mock fire drill conducted as part of 4-day training on Dzong fire safety. The training conducted by Department of Disaster Management in collaboration with Drasang Lhensok and police was also attended by monks from the Lhagangs, Gyendis and Hindu temples in Srang.
The purpose of conducting a disaster preparedness and sensitization training program for the Dzongs and monastic institutes is to sensitize, orient and enhance the awareness of the Lams, monks and Lhagang caretakers on the impending natural disaster hazards like earthquake, landslide, flash flood, windstorm and in particular on fire hazards.
This type of training is very important. It is very important to be prepared before such disasters occur. Once we go back after the training, we need to plan how to be prepared.
Gyeok administrative officers also attended the training.
We never know when a disaster will occur. In this training, we learned disaster preparedness. For example, we have lots of equipment to battle fire disaster, but we don't know how to use them. From this training, we learn how to use the equipment.
From this training, we learned how to be prepared when disasters strike, be it at home, office or zongs.
The training focused on the importance of having disaster management plan. The Disaster Management Department started the training from Paro in August 2012. So far, 10 zongs have been covered. Compiled for Kenchsring in Sirang, Sonam Hamo for BBS News.
All activities under the Gyeok Development Grant shall be deliberated upon and endorsed by the Gyeok Tsokde after consultation with the general public of the Gyeok in a public meeting. In Sebji village in Paro, people say they are unaware of where the grant is being spent. They say no zomdus were even held regarding the matter.
Villagers of Sebji under Naja Gyeok in Paro say their chiok along with 2 other chioks were entitled to receive 400,000 nultrum under the Gyeok Development Grant. But they said nothing was discussed with them. With less than 2 months left to use the money, locals said they don't know where the money is going.
다 공기 교원으로 교육이 망을디 같은 주심자진 때다 교원으로 공기 때가 저라 지옥숨이 지옥숨으로 딘디 접심자 까 카치스가 권하게 또 언입에 땅아 저라 딘디 이세디베 공기 반을 납디베 때 교원 아주 망게 공기 마선스 주님이 다 공기 레네베 공기 다 져서노 때다 같이 미스데지가로 때 딘디 가네미 수신입이 대축이 같이 교원 나지 망일디 남만이 또 지식이 나지 망일디 바와신 같이 다 같이 다 아니 좀디 접서 먹어라 지금 저벅이 하나 나지망이 같이 떠니나 같이 자니나 아니 같이스가 떠니 이나면에 공기가 절로 가니 숨 딘디미라.
But the Tsokpa who looks after the 3 chioks said he decided that the money will be spent to clear a road in Sebji village, but he could not conduct a meeting.
The zomdudi bemus positionilla kachuma sawachin kongi phale ngachnalu dakubegole chisanala Dani begolenga phajuogole ani tha ngarai cheve tanagi chu ni di digi next not on the shaila.
The Gup of Naja Gyeok, Kado, said he has not heard of any complaints regarding such matters. He said the Gyeok Development Grant was divided among the Tsokpas after they said they wanted to use it in their respective regions. But the 2 million nultrum per year grant is yet to reach the Gyeok. Compiled for Yishi Gelson, Pemal Harden, BBS News.
What is the purpose of a road taking to the remote village if people of that village cannot make use of it? The 2-kilometer farm road in Jatoka village in Paro is left broken, unrepaired, and it is unusable.
A farm route only by name, this farm route in Jabdoka village is impassable even on foot. The road connects 3 communities of the village to the main road. It was constructed in 2011. Villagers say that the road was completely damaged due to a cessation of heavy rainfall last year. They said there were plans to repair the roads by the previous Gyeok administration officer. But before implementing the plan, the Gyeok administration officer was transferred.
Documents were made and we even put our initials on it. But then we heard that he got transferred and our plans disappeared. We were told that there was no budget and we are accepting it because we cannot do anything.
With
the road conditions like this, we are facing a lot of problems. We depend on selling our vegetables and currently we are cut off from the main road.
Meanwhile, Najagap said the Gyeok office did not receive any budget to carry out maintenance works.
I was told that the works would have to be done from the Gyeok budget, so I put it in the 2013 to 14 plans, but did not receive the money.
GUB said the document signed by the villagers was to grant the contract to repair works to the villagers. He said there is nothing mentioned in the document about the budget being received. GUB said villagers might have misunderstood it. Compiled for Ishikelson, Ishingitup, PBS News.
Shortage of health specialists is a global phenomenon and Bhutan is no exception. Addressing this problem, the Postgraduate Medical Education Center was inaugurated by the Health Minister in Thimphu.
The idea of starting the postgraduate training was conceived in 2007. The launch of the Postgraduate Medical Education Center is expected to greatly strengthen the delivery of quality health care services in the country. Dr. Phup Doji, Head of Department of Gynecology and Obstetrics, has been elected as the first Program Director of the center.
We have been able to cover a lot of things on the primary health care. Now there has been a need in the secondary and tertiary level of healthcare. To address this, it is actually very difficult for our graduates to go to other countries to get seats in the PG specialization courses. Having produced the required number of specialists, the next change that we are going to see immediately is in terms of the quality of service.
The first batch will be joining the center in July this year. Meanwhile, the University of Medical Sciences of Bhutan has already developed the curricula to launch the postgraduate residency program in 6 disciplines. The Jigme Dorji Wangchuck National Referral Hospital and University of Medical Sciences of Bhutan also signed an agreement of affiliation. The center is also envisioned to develop into a full-fledged postgraduate institute of medical sciences in the near future. Sonam Choden, PBS News.
As there are very limited teaching materials in multimedia forms in the country, the Education Ministry has come up with a plan to inculcate the culture, traditional values and learning materials into interactive formats to increase the level of teaching and learning.
The Education Ministry is planning to include teaching materials into different formats like audio, visual, animation and graphics. This will mean students will be able to easily grasp what is otherwise being taught in a typical classroom setting. Another objective of the program is to inculcate cultural and traditional values into easy learning formats. For example, the national educators or Rilom Namja will be simplified by animated characters. In line with this, 25 teachers from 5 different schools in the country were trained on similar aspects of the project earlier this January. A few months after the project took off on a pilot basis, the Vice President of Jigpen Rigpal said the initial phase has proved successful. Jigpen Rigpal is the joint partner for the Education Ministry in this project.
There's a lot of international content available, multimedia content available, but there's very limited content on Bhutanese topics, on Bhutan's tradition and culture. And Bhutan is a country that really values its legacy, you know. And you see that everywhere in terms of art, culture, your architecture.
The Education Ministry is also evaluating ways in which the pilot project can be leveraged further through dissemination of prize-winning high-quality content among schools. In a contest held among the 5 trained schools, Jugal Higher Secondary School in Paro emerged as the winner. They showed history quizzes into interactive format and inculcated science programs in speech format. Certificates were awarded by the Education Secretary.
The
younger generation now prefer to use internet and computers. And with this kind of programs and contests related to our syllabus, students can benefit a lot.
Khalsa Primary School, Punakha Higher Secondary School, Safal Lower Secondary School in Ha and Rugel Higher Secondary School participated in the contest. Namgye Wangchuck, PBS News.
The community center at Metso Gyeok in Lhunsi was established last year. However, the center remains underutilized because the center lacks access to internet services.
The community center at Metsugeok has all the facilities that a center should have, but the center remains underutilized due to lack of internet connectivity in the Geok. The center was established to provide easy and faster government to citizen services like security and forestry clearances. Community center so far is only utilized for offline services like scanning, printing, lamination and photocopy.
The internet facilities
If we have the internet facilities, it will be beneficial and we would be able to cater to every citizen. Since we do not have the internet facilities, we have to go to Lhintse Dzongkhag.
Some of the people said they are not able to avail services due to lack of internet services.
Internet
is available only in Lhintse, and to get a security clearance, we have to go to Lhintse only. And moreover, when the route gets blocked, then we have to walk down to Gorgan, and we have to pay 400 to go up and 400 to come back. So it's difficult. But even if it's difficult, we have to go since it's important.
The issue, according to the Geok administration, has been discussed several times during the Dzongkhag Tsogdu meetings.
We have discussed this in Dzongkhag Tsogdu also, but they say they will give the internet facilities on August 2013, but we did not get it till now.
The Dzongkhag IT officer said internet connectivity to the Geok was delayed due to Dzongkhag renovation works. IT officer, however, said they are working on the installation works and will be completed in about a week's time from now. Kampal Fuchiche, Pematsuki, BBS News.
Bhutan will for the first time compete in Chess Olympiad competition. 5 players have been selected to represent the country in Norway.
The top 5 players were selected after a national chess tournament held among 51 contestants over the weekend. They will represent Bhutan in Norway later in August. Chess Olympiad is a tournament in which teams from all over the world compete against each other. Cash prizes and certificates were awarded by Kensang Dorji, the president of Bhutan Indigenous Games and Sports Association. The winners told BBS that they are proud to be representing Bhutan in a prestigious chess tournament.
Winning medal is not that important, but participation is very much important, and therefore we should know where Bhutan stands in terms of chess. So I feel very privileged, and I will try to the best of my ability in the upcoming tournament.
The tournament to select the 5 winners was organized by the Bhutan Chess Foundation with funds from FIDA or the World Chess Federation. Compiled for Setan Dubcho, Sonam Chodin, BBS News.
That's all we have for you this week. Thank you for joining us. This is Tandin Finso saying goodbye.